can't. You know why? I work as a nurse. My job is very demanding. Just to be here today, I had to call out. Just to be here on time to do what I had to do. Let's be honest. So I can't be at work on my phone switching over this passcode to this page and switching over this passcode to this page. I can't do that.
What I said to you though, you said you write books. So your book page should be open and your personal page should be
but I still have to access it at all times. Cause I don't have enough money to hire the people to do certain things for me.
Let me say something real quick, just to add on to that, because like, you know, I got a public page.
It is what it is.
The Dear Women I Haven't Slept With page. I can't control what people write on that.
But that's fine, right? That's your book page, but your personal page can be private. What I'm saying to him is, he claims Shorty did him so dirty and did all this other stuff. If he doesn't want her to follow him, then on his personal page, it should be private. Don't accept her. On his public page about his book, just ignore her. Let her write what she want to write.
Comments, Christine.
Yeah, I don't think he responded to her.
I did not. Exactly. I just brought that up. Oh my God.
I don't know.
Wow.
All I'm trying to say is, like, why would I have to have two pages?
Why?
If I'm just me and I'm me, and I have a page.
Because one is personal and one is
professional. But if I'm author, I'm still me besides that. I wrote a book. Because I wrote a book, I should have a personal page.
That's not what I said though. I said if you want to have, he said he writes books, fine. But if you write books and you want to have followers who write your books and stuff like that, that's a separate, like Brian, he might have two different pages. He might have his page for his book, and then he might have his page where he puts on his personal business.
So every time he writes a new book, he has to get a new page?
No, that's your book page.
Ask him who manages
your book
it.
page.
He might have more time to manage it.
And I wrote a book, and I just want to be me and promote my book on the page that's just my page because it's me.
But that's what you choose. But if you know you have chicks that you dealt with that you choose not to have as your friends, then they don't need to be on your book page. That's business. That's the problem. She doesn't need to say business. Different things. And that's what I know.
Listen, what he's saying is like me. I have an organization. I'm not doing no. I can't even remember all my kids' socials, let alone having somebody on different pages. So what he's saying is, what if he don't want to have a separate thing? What if that book is what he's doing right now? Why do I have to have a whole separate life and have to find all these new followers? What if I want all my friends to be on my page? What he's saying is, why is she commenting and putting those negative stuff on his page?
Then block her. Block her. Very easy. Block her.
I think what you're using as an example. I'm progressive, and my ex-wife or my ex-lady is still on my has it in her. But I'm saying, I think what you're using as an example to show that I'm being successful, and this woman still wants to spread venom about me or try to make me feel it.
I understand what you're saying.
You know people can respond through other people who's your friend on Instagram or Facebook. If you don't know how it works, then I always tell people, you cannot speak if you don't fully know how something works. You cannot. People are, no. People are lurking through other people's pages. So if you're my friend and we have somebody we don't communicate with, but that's your friend, they can still see what I'm doing and go through your page and see what I'm doing. We don't have to be friends on social networks for them to see what I'm doing. See, you gotta know how this stuff works before you can.
You gotta do a complete block.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, but bro,
listen, my ex-wife don't even know I exist anymore.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Speaking of exes,
I wanted to say something. Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
I follow Bryant on Instagram, Facebook. I don't do Twitter. But if you make a comment or something, he might not get right there, right then and there, but he do answer. So like you were saying, I don't got the time. Like, but he do a lot of stuff. I'll see, traveling, the kids, the back. He's family, so I kind of know a little bit. But he does a lot. Sometimes I'm like, how do you even do it? But he does a lot. So you doing a lot. We understand that you busy, you're a nurse, you this, that. You can't keep up with Instagram and Facebook. I understand that. But my thing is, if somebody is putting, because you're doing so much positive, and you see somebody trying to throw you negative,
you're always gonna get that.
If you can't do it, get somebody to eliminate.
No, you're always gonna get that. You're always gonna get the negative.
What you gotta do anyway?
Like, block her. But
why?
If she's harassing,
if she's harassing,
Wait a minute.
she
You're always, wait a minute.
I said if she's harassed.
No, I hear you, but you're always gonna get the negative, no matter what. Period. No matter what. If it's not on this blog, if it's not on this Instagram, if it's not on this Facebook.
Okay, what does that mean? What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Yeah, you said I'm a woman.
Okay, well, what that means is, me being a man, I can say a bunch of different things. But you being a woman, you're gonna get a lot more attention, period. So are you gonna block or ignore? Are you gonna block everybody who says everything to you?
You want me to tell you why I take the time out, and not because I got the time on my hands. I take that time out and I eliminate you because I got family members. I got kids that might see that. And I won't allow somebody else or the public to disrespect my page.
You have time to block everybody who's wild.
It's not that I have time. I said I'll make that time. When I have that time, I work. I do a lot of stuff, so that means I don't have that time.
Hold on. This young lady has something to say.
Oh, she touched them.
Oh, she touched them?
Yeah.
Sir? Yeah, okay. Taking all this into account, and I know there's more to discuss later. Who has, men or women, who has more expectations as to what they are supposed to do as far as the relationship goes, as far as life goes? Men or women, who has more more expectations? What, like the man is expected to do this, the man is expected to feel this, the woman is expected to make this, the woman is supposed to feel this. Who has more to be expected?
Can't all these things be case by case?
Right,
I don't
understand that question.
I mean, like, there's a broad thing about this is right over here, this is not right, this right. Why can't it be a case by case? You're dealing with this person, I am who I am, you are who you are, this is what you bring to the table. Whether you broke, you got money, you don't have money, you cook, you clean, this, that, and the third. You take the time and the patience to understand that that person works for me and I work for that person. I don't understand when you come with, you know what, because I've, since a child, young man, barbershops, basketball games, got older gentlemen talking about this, that, and the third. I went into the world saying, this is what it's supposed to be. Finding out that I caused more damage for myself. You know, so moving forward, those things don't work for me. So if I have a corporate woman on the corner, this, that, and the third, I don't care what she looks like, I take time to understand who she is to see if she works for me. And then give her the same opportunity to learn me to see if I work for her.
God bless that, bro. So you got to listen to the OGs of the game coming up.
He is an OG.
I'm soon to be 37 years old.
Right.
You know, the torch is passed. You know, whether it was given to me or not, you know, there has to be something that I have to do to correct my wrongs moving forward. Because besides my children, there's other gentlemen, younger gentlemen in the next generation, the generation before, that regardless if I pull them to the side and say, listen to this or listen to that, they watch and they listen anyway. From social media, whether you post it on Instagram, Facebook, somebody will say, well, I didn't like that comment, but I seen it. You know, so being older and going into our next levels of life, you know, I think there's things that we're doing that hasn't been working for so long, but we're trying to find justifications on how to make wrong right, and we can.
I think what George said, that we both have expectations, but when it gets crossed is that we don't express them to each other. Like, women will be expecting one thing and men will be expecting something else, but if we never say to each other what we expect in the beginning, then that's when everything goes crazy.
What's interesting to that is what we said in the beginning. A lot of people are still not open and honest with what they want.
Right.
Can I piggyback? Yeah. I'm sorry. Sure. Can I piggyback off of what he said? I think when he said, you know, he heard the people in the barbershop talking, and that kind of, it built his conception of what relationships were. And I think that's the greatest contributor to the demise of relationships today. We all have this perception of what it's supposed to be based on what we've learned at home, based on what we were taught in the barbershop, what we were taught on the street. So then when we get in this relationship with a person who we can potentially build something so amazing and so great with, but we're measuring it up against all of this information that we've been given that wasn't necessarily false, but the main ingredient we missed was that once you get into a relationship, it's about what you create together. It is about forgetting all of that stuff which he has experienced. You forget, you're supposed to cut away all that stuff that you learned when you were a kid, because everything doesn't work for everybody. So now you take the person you're with and you write your own story together. And you can advise people, but don't ever tell them to do it the way that you did it.
I agree with what you said.
mean, if I could double dutch real quick. I mean, even now today, I was with a couple of my friends last night. You know, you talk about females and corporate and this, that, and the third. And most of them probably never met corporate women a day in their life. But based on the information that somebody else that has, they're automatically going into that situation and dealing with it based on what somebody else said, which could be completely wrong, completely false.
But also what plays a part in that is songs as well. Because in my 20s, to me, bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. Until I went through my own experiences, it's like, but now they pretty all right.
Even the hoes and tricks.
So songs play a key part. Whether it's hip hop or R&B, you listen to the lyrics, and sometimes you try to tie in your own personal experiences to that. B, what do you think?
I mean, they were on point. I mean, like I co-signed everything that Nnem said.
Right.
You know, what's truth. You know, what's understood doesn't need to be spoken. I think her and this gentleman right here, what's your name?
Sherrod.
Sherrod, yeah. You know, they just validated everything.
Right. That's true. Well, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I wanted to clear something up. I said corporate because I work in a corporation. That's what I've been doing. But the whole attitude of corporate is not who I am because it's just what I do.
Are you single?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I had to deal with other people looking at me that way, and it took me a long. I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Right.
Then I know you're around the block. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. But I didn't understand. I really didn't understand what you meant by old money and new money.
Meaning that, you want me to break it down?
Yeah, because I mean, like that was saying I'm old money. I don't know what you mean.
Oh, 6 minutes. Old money is really.
That ain't gonna be enough time.
No, I'm not. Old money is really a generation of like you said, like because what old money attitude, the corporate attitude of older women who's in a relationship, like they're not to say that they're okay or they will leave. They'll make things work. Where now it's about the fast cash or instant gratification, where people that's making new money is like, okay, this person is expendable, or you know, we don't have to deal with therapy, or we don't have to, maybe like they say, a family that goes to church, that prays together, stays together and stuff like that. Meaning that like old money believe in that. Like honestly, new money, like in my generation, everybody's looking for instant gratification, something quick. Old money, nah, we gonna make this work. Okay, I'm gonna take the time to try to understand you and understand what you're going through, and maybe you might teach me something about myself that I never knew. But new money, honestly, which I said, which is a newer generation who don't block out social media, who see something on social media and think they could apply it to their, you know, their relationship now. Where old money, we don't care about that. People tell me I'm an old soul because I hang out with a lot of older people, and believe me, I listen. I don't think I know it all. I don't, which is what I said. I'm not here to advise. I'm just here to listen and take in and share my experiences. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by old money and new money. Like new money is really looking for instant gratification.